Maria Taganova, research into the impact of motorboat noise on the acoustic activity of white whales. The results of the work I am presenting, they have been collected during an expedition near the Isle of Solovetsky in July-August of 2018. Have a look. There are 4 points where beluga whales are being observed. And we studied only this A area. It is very convenient to watch them and do acoustic research. We need to say a couple of words about the importance of this area. Yeah, so this Solovetsky beluga whales population is very important. So many females with calves come here and they communicate. Okay, so they socialize, and the calves are developing here. And because this area is so important, that's why we have concerns about shipping. Okay, it is expanding and increasing. And here, for example, yeah, you see 5 boats, and on the left, yeah, this is the spot where beluga whales live. So all this is very close, and these animals are in such a position. We have used the data registered by hydrosonic equipment, and also there was this observation tower used for visual registration, and also we had an online data collection. We used a special software for processing. Altogether, we registered about 300 cases of acoustic noise produced by motorboats, which were right in this basin or somewhere close. Then we selected 15 situations. And as for the sampling, yeah, today we heard that it was difficult to find one whale. For us, it was difficult to identify just one boat, because usually there were more of them. So it was hard to establish this controlled environment for monitoring. For each of these specific situations, we identified 3 periods, okay, 3 exposures. Okay, so pre-exposure, then exposure, and post-exposure, right after this motorboat noise. All this was identified. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. Then we used 20-second fragments, and we were calculating the intensity, okay, the nature, whether there was impulse type sounds, and so on. Altogether, we analyzed 3 hours and 46 minutes of audio recordings, and we registered over 15,000 different signals of 10 types. Okay, we used Raven software for this. Okay, so and you see different signals produced by these beluga whales. Okay, at the bottom on the left, this is the baseline, okay, when there's no noise. And on the right, yeah, you can see when there is motorboat noise, what is happening. The main results of this work demonstrates that during this period of noise, socialization of beluga whales went down. And also, what was significant, that right after this noise, their socialization didn't come to the previous level. So this is the curve showing the dependence of the level of the noise Okay, so this red line shows, okay, how this vocalization, socialization rate went down. Okay, and then, okay, so the signal reinstated, but actually it didn't reach, on average, it didn't reach the pre-exposure levels. We also studied the dependence on the changing of vocalization and the level of noise. Well, this correlation coefficient was not very high, but still, in certain cases, when the noise was significant, over 10 decibels, animals always reduced the level of their vocalization, and it fell to the level of just half of it. And there were, you see, two situations when the animals actually started vocalizing more. Also, there was an analysis of different categories of these signals in the overall vocalization. So during the noise, motorboat noise, we see that there are more impulse signals, and this increase rate is about 8%. And a big share of it are series of sounds. But if we look at the statistical data altogether, so this difference was statistically insignificant. So we didn't identify any typical correlation of the animal's response to this noise. And conclusions and discussions. So these are the major results. Okay, so this reaction of beluga whales is quite typical for marine mammals. We know that the same is demonstrated by other species. Okay, so they sort of stay calm, they stop vocalizing. This is what happens when they come across predators. Also, there's an element of masking. Okay, so when the frequency of signals is at the same level, then animals, they stop hearing each other. And what is interesting, the motor boats, they cause a prolonged effect on acoustic, on vocalization of animals. And the animals need more time to go back to the normal behavior. And the beluga whale's response does not depend on the level of noise. So it's not the right moment which plays a crucial role, but no, it is just the fact of this moving object passing close to their grouping. And during this research, we haven't detected any specific type of signals which would prevail during such period of noise impact, although it can be quite interesting to identify it. So all in all, these are major results. Thank you very much for your attention. Maria, thank you for this interesting presentation. Colleagues, any questions? Thank you very much for this interesting presentation. I would like to ask you, maybe I missed it, for how long does this effect stay? You said that, okay, their socialization goes down. For how long it happens? And can it be accumulated in the population? So is it possible that this impact of motorboat noise, can it reduce the overall vocalization and socialization of this population? Thank you very much. The answer is that we cannot speak about the accumulation within the population. Altogether, there's about 100 animals at a time. Yeah, and when these boats, when there are tens of them passing during the day, and in our case it was about 15, 20 boats during 24 hours, there are transit ships and some tourist boats, and there are bigger ships doing long distance routes. So this is a very interesting question, but it hasn't been studied very well. So we don't know much about the accumulated effect. As for the time of reduction of their vocalization activity, it's not quite clear yet, but still we see that there's this gap before they go back to the normal behavior. There are some international publications, and they found out that immediately after this noise removal, they go back to their normal behavior. We found different results. Thank you. Maria, there's another question in chat from Anastasia Tuzhikova. Can you please tell us whether the number of the animals changed after active noise pollution? Sometimes we saw that. However, I cannot say that they immediately left, the animals immediately left after this noise. There was some slow accumulation, okay, throughout last 2 decades. Okay, the noise burden is increasing. Okay, and the animals, okay, they adapt to the situation, and now they are sort of used to it, and they don't leave. And in this case, you know, it's not just some sudden noise happening nearby. No, this boat is approaching. Okay, the noise is increasing, and the animals adapted already to this. Thank you, Maria, for this answer. Thank you.